Everybody, Questers and YouTubers, how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody had a great week. We had a great Tuesday night. And plus, with that promo that everybody's got hyped up at Sam Balls, Lot 25. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody can see me. I hope everybody can hear me. Check on this. Everybody can hear me. Right. Okay. Alrighty. We also have Judy on the phone straight from Canada. Hello, Judy. Test.
Hello, John, and hi, everybody. I hope you had a good week as well, and I hope you're looking forward to tonight. I am.
Yep, everybody can hear Judy okay, and we'll be ready to go. Got to give my shout outs first before I start the show. We'll wait for people to come in. Yes, everybody can hear you, everybody can see and hear me, Judy. So we're starting off on the right foot.
Good. I haven't picked you up yet, so
okay.
I'm still waiting for it to come on. I don't know why.
Don't worry about it. We're good otherwise.
Okay.
I want to give my paid YouTubers their big shout outs. I want to thank Michelle, Annette, Jazdia, Wayne, and Starlene for their support and their continued support. And also our Grandmaster, Renee Tunnel. I thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your mug. It was a great picture.
She was happy, John.
It was a great picture. Everybody else is good. David, Becky, Ogden from the YouTube side, Scott, Anthony from Long Island, Ed. How's everybody doing tonight? Fantastic. I also want to tell people that on the YouTube side, I did make a $2.99 per month. It's called a Templar Soldier. That's only 75 cents a week. So if you want to sort of support me a little bit and you can afford $2.99 a month, I would love it to the max. It's not for everybody. I know it's tough times, but as I grow and as we grow as a group, I have to have that out there for membership. I thank you for your time and your patience and your support. You guys are the best. And of course, tomorrow we push the Facebook red button, subscribe button. We've been averaging about 60 subscribes, Judy, on Sundays. And that's on YouTube. They subscribe. That's all free. Just to subscribe to my channel, and you'll get notifications when I go live. And it supports the numbers, which don't mean anything money-wise, but it just supports the channel, and it supports the subscription base in YouTube. And I thank you very much. Hello, Valerie. How you doing? Mary Ellen. Okay, I got you. I'm going back and forth with these monitors. There's a lot of people, some people, like we're saying, Judy, don't like Facebook. They like YouTube. People on YouTube don't like Facebook. Always back and forth, always. And there's Renee. Hello, Renee. How you doing, Renee?
Hi, Renee.
Very good. Glad to see you. Glad to see you on this Saturday night. And Becky Gilmore on the YouTube side. Like I said, on the YouTube side, there's a $2.99 memberships, Templar Soldier. If you want to help me out, it's per month. It's about 75 cents a week. So I wanted to put that up there. I didn't really want to put that out in chat. It's just there for people to see. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, for sure.
Hello, Cindy.
Hi, Dawn.
Yep. And we had a great Tuesday night. That pre-show was wild. And tonight on YouTube and Facebook. Guess how many live shows I have done since I've started?
Can't even guess.
And say each one's an hour, 2 hours long, 2 hours long. Some promos, you know how I promote somebody's coming on, or like I do a little promo if something caught my eye in the preview for next week. You know how I post that on YouTube because I want everybody to focus on that one thing that they showed, Judy?
Yes. Yeah.
Mary Ellen, you just go to my Facebook join. It's up on my header. Just hit the join button and it's in the list, in the join button. My hips are still bad, Cindy, but it's part of some medication I'm taking also. So we're working on it. We're working on it. 1,000 shows. Wow, 1,000 shows. Thanks for your concern, Cindy. Nope. New member. Welcome, Becky. 108 live shows.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty good. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot.
I think that is a lot.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you so much.
You're getting better at it all the time.
Yep. I thank you so much, Becky. And she got new member status. I'm not on YouTube. I'm looking at Facebook right now. But I see the YouTube chat. And I thank you so much. It's that easy, right? It was pretty easy. Thank you, Valerie. Scott, 127. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. You guys got to hear me mumble twice a week. I give you guys credit for that. So like I said, 108 live shows tonight. We got Judy on the line. She's ready with her synopsis. And I also want to put out there that we still have and always will have with Renee Tuttle said she started the Art of Oak Island, Nova Scotia. And I just want to put a reminder out there in the beginning of my show that Renee wants to have a blank canvas and an invitation to our most talented members. It could be anybody. You don't have to be talented. To share their creations inspired by Oak Island mystery. Any medium is welcome. So all you artists out there, painters, writers, bakers, glassblowers, poets, singers, etc. Renee and myself and Judy and Tammy and Michelle want to see the talent we have out there. And we can't wait to see your interpretations inspired by the fellowship of the dig. And as always, let's keep our comments and observations positive and respectful. And don't forget, it's against the rules to try to sell anything here. It's not an eBay channel, and it's not Match.com over here. So we are just here to share and enjoy the diversity of the knowledge and its expression, and of course, to exchange ideas with each other. And there will be a special album place that Renee has set up that we can go to one place and see all your creations, your cake creations, your ceramics, whatever talent you have to show. It'll all be there. And I'll personally send that to the Oak Island team from me. You know, mentioning your name. I mean, I'm not taking credit for it. It's your guys' creation. I will send it to the Oak Island tours, who, you know, Marty and Rick run that. That's their webpage. And I'm pretty sure they'll appreciate everything I can send them. So we'll wait till we get a bunch and send them to the guys.
Good idea.
You know, what do you think of that, Judy?
I think that's a great idea. I'm so anxious to start seeing some.
Yep. Yep. Hi, Pam. How are you? Lisa, you like that idea? And get some recognition. You will get some recognition for you guys. Because I don't know who's doing creative. Like I said, I don't go to any other groups. I haven't joined any group. I mean, I get asked on the daily. But to keep it fresh, I don't want to see anybody else's statements or anybody else's thing. We do our own thing here. And that's the way I keep it. Like, I also like people just to call in or a cast member PMing me, like right now. John, yeah, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the chat. Fine. Boom. They come right on now. I like to do things on the go. I think it makes it fresh. I think it makes it unique. And I try to be different. So what do you think, guys?
Come on, guys. Start sending them in here.
The only problem is, Judy, I'm not a good baker.
Well, you're a good cook.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of some of your pizzas.
Yep.
Look good.
Yeah, I got to scrape the sauce off because of reflux.
Darn.
Oh, it's tough getting older, guys. It's tough. It's tough. All right. Well, let me see here. Okay, Anthony. Let me find I have a lot of pictures from Tuesday in the promotion coming up next week to show you guys, and we'll go over all the screenshots. So now Judy's picture's way far away here. Hi, Starlene. Stick people. No, well, you're going to have to ask Renee on that.
Cute.
Good. Hi, Buster. Renee is the manager, director, and owner of the Art of Oak Island. I'm just sitting back. So she is the manager of that. Let me see. What was I doing? Finding Judy's picture. Hi, Michael. How are you? I hope everybody's good tonight. Hello, Linda. All right. I don't know whoever has that. Does any groups have a creative page on their group that they send to Oak Island on Oak Island images, or do they just post it? Like, I made this, it looks like Oak Island, and they just post it. We will have a direct section for the creative people in here to show them. I don't know if anybody does that. I have no idea. I just love the idea. Renee will keep you posted. Okay, hold on. Alrighty. I have our synopsis master, Judith from Canada. Yeah, Chris, it's snowing here, Chris. And also, I want to correct myself. It was the eye of the swamp. I got a picture. I was thinking of the Mercy Point. My brain is fried. You were right. On the top of the swamp where Billy was, it was the eye of the swamp. All right, I got Judy's picture up. Judy, when you're ready, do your thing. All yours.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. We had a great discussion on our podcast on Tuesday night. Hope you all had as much fun as I did. For those of you who couldn't be there, it's on our Facebook page or YouTube. Enjoy. Now let's get after episode 16. It's a new week on Oak Island, and Rick and Marty arrive at the pathway in the southeast corner of the swamp. Aaron gives Marty an update on the progress they have made here. Marty says, "Wow, this looks like an old Roman road. Why is it here, and where is it going?" Since all the dates on artifacts so far that have been found are very old, Marty decides they should keep following the pathway. They have exposed 400 feet of it. Marty believes something big happened here. As they dig, they find more cobblestones spaced neatly apart. Rocks, dirt, and wood. Steve measures the elevation and pronounces this section the same level as the other side. Marty can't get over how clean the area is with very few artifacts. Aaron says it almost seems like they tried to hide it, a thought the team is now wondering about. And why go to the expense of building in the work, of building the pathway, if it doesn't involve treasure? More questions, guys. Oh, when will we get some answers? Back at the money pit, the team have started a new drill hole, C4.5, which is 2.5 feet west of C5, where they were working last week. At 87.5 feet, they find the same material found in C5 at the same depth. They decide to go to 130 feet. Terry believes there are tunnels here. Later in the swamp, Craig, Aaron, and Liz explore the pathway in the new area they found earlier. Aaron digs up a piece of leather strapping with notches in it. Could it be related to other leather pieces found? They bag it and tag it for dating. The following day, Gary and Rick arrive at Lot 25, the Samuel Ball property. Gary metal detected earlier and flagged a number of hits of non-ferrous metal. Rick digs flag 1 and pulls out a piece of a musket ball. It will be researched. At flag 2, Rick pulls up what looks like the back of a pocket watch. This too must be tested. Meanwhile, Doug and Charles arrive at Joe Landry's print shop with the piece of leather strapping. Because it is thick and smooth, Joe says it is cowhide, which is too thick for a watch strap. While working in Europe, Joe worked on ancient leather ledgers with a strap and buckle on them. He says this strap looks like one of those. They will test to see what kind of cannon was used, and that will tell them the age and where it came from. Back on Lot 25, Rick digs up at flag 3 and finds an antique, flat, single loop button like the one off of a jacket from 1750 to 1850. And Gary says, test it. It's a new day at the swamp, and in the uplands, the team is continuing to follow the pathway. Rick picks up a piece of pottery that Aaron thinks is earthenware, which would mean that it's very old, from around 1604. They will have Laird look at it. That afternoon, Rick, Marty, Craig, and the team meet in the war room. Craig is giving the results of the carbon testing on the wood from 87 feet down in hole C5. The first piece is aged at 1726 to 1813, and the second at 1648 to 1694. They will continue to dig here, as this could be the money pit. Later that afternoon, the team starts a new hole numbered BC3 in the money pit area. It is northwest of C1, and at 88 feet, there is more wood and what looks like a tunnel. Will they find the vault here? Marty says we will find the money pit. We will. Don't think we should miss next week's show, members. Are we in for a treat? Have a good week and stay safe, everyone.
Well, I thank you so much, Judy. Fantastic job as usual on the weekly. I will be posting this to the Facebook Quest page later on so everybody can read it and dissect it. Great job, Judy.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
I want to welcome in Barbara Perry. She's a very good supporter of me and the channel. I thank you so much for your support, Barbara. I thank you 100%.
Oh, we have good members, John. They're so good to me.
You're famous, Judy.
Yep. Oh, boy.
You're famous.
Well, with you guys, and that's all that counts.
You know what I mean? We're famous in our own little way, you know?
You got it. You got it.
I
feel loved.
Yeah, we have almost like a virtual companionship with our group and certain members that are here on the weekly or here on the daily, you know, according to their schedule. And it's just a great round table discussion with all the members. Or, you know, I don't know what you do in like your personal messages and stuff, but you meet more people here. You meet friends. You meet people maybe that live close to you. I mean, you got to watch out. It's the internet. And, you know, it's a whole go around the circle group. What do you think?
Oh, I think we have a great group, and I enjoy it. I've met some great people from all over the world, which is great too, John. And I've got you as a friend, and that means a lot to me.
Yep. Yep. It's just fantastic. It's just, but you don't realize how many people listen to us. You know what I mean? Like from around the world, Switzerland, Dubai, South Africa, all these people. I realized that about after 5 shows, it's like, oh my God, I'm talking to people all the way around the world.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And we change people's lives because people want to see us. People want to interact with us. And sometimes it makes their night, it makes their day. It's like, okay, let's have coffee with John and Judy, or, hey, John is coming on Tuesday. Let me make some popcorn. Or Saturday night, here he is again. You know, I got nothing to do. Let's click on and listen to him mumble on a Saturday night. You know,
it's a good idea, and I love it.
Alrighty, let's get some pictures going because I got a lot of pictures from Tuesday night. So I'm going to just hide your picture. Stay with me, Judy. Later on, when we put the phone number up, like usual, somebody in the chat just tells us you want to give a call, and Judy will get off. You call in, and then Judy will get back on the normal, Judy.
Sounds good.
So stay with me. I'm just taking your picture off so we can show some pictures of what your synopsis was about.
That's okay. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, good, Judy. Hold on. Michael, I do that every month. Michael says you should put up a survey to see where we're all from. March, February, and everything else, I put up on Sundays only. I put a shout out. So possibly tomorrow, possibly next Sunday for March. And oh my God, you get 1,000, 2,000 people from wherever they are. Let's do shout outs now. And oh my God, the chat just goes crazy where everybody's from. We do it once a month, Michael, here on Facebook Quest with my 72,000 members. I don't know if you're a member of my Facebook Quest page. It's a private group. Send your name over there. Join up. Tammy will approve you, and you'll see what it's all about. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, exactly.
I only do it once a month. And here's where I want to show Chris. And there it is. The eye of the swamp, I was calling Mercy Point for some reason that one night. I have no idea why I was calling that Mercy Point. But there it is, Chris. You're correct. Cheers, Peter. Cheers. So I wanted to show you that. So I made a screenshot of that. Alrighty. Let me see here. I was trying to, you guys, we've been seeing this map over and over. Yup, Chris, you got me on that one. Yup, that's it. We've been seeing these maps. And you see where the Dunfield dig location is, the big circle. And I try to get details on what all those small squiggly lines are. I don't know if they're drilling that close to make a 6-inch hole on top of each drill hole. You see what I'm saying? Like the little wormy things.
Yes.
And I don't know, like we know Steve said they did over 400 drill holes since he's been there. But I don't know if they're doing a drill hole that close. The only way we can get verification is they can't say anything right now, but we will get clarification. That's what I thought, Linda, that there were tunnels. Those were the tunnels that were found, partial tunnels or the end of a tunnel. And I don't know if it's where the drill hole deviates. They're pretty right on with the GPS and the seismic drilling. I don't think it's walking or how a drill walks when it gets down that lower. You think so, Chris? The way the drill hole deviates. That one drill hole moves that far over and into the depth. I know it's not all the way straight down at a 90-degree angle. But he must have some kind of GPS on the drill bit or something to show that. So I'm going with Chris Donnell. I wish he would come on with me and just chit chat. But the way the drill hole deviates, I was thinking of that too. And then I was thinking, well, maybe those were part of the tunnels that they were finding, because that's not plotted on there. If you're hitting a tunnel edge or whatever. Yup, Buster, the tunnel is going west. So, of course, Johnny Stummer had to inquire, and the answer was we can't say anything right now until it's explained. So I guess we're going to get a nice explanation of what all these things are on the map, just not saying, the money pit, go west. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Judy? I wanted to get a direct answer, but I tried. I tried, guys.
That's all you could do, John. We'll get it.
So, because I was curious myself, is it tunnels? It's like Chris says, does the drill walk that much, that deep? And that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Chris, I don't know. I try to get an answer. We'll get some more answers, but guess what? I come up with more questions. I'm sick of coming up with questions, Judy.
It's called Oak Island, John.
Oh, God. So they took a bigger picture of our, what are we going to call these? Snake eyes?
Well, that's a good one.
And I'm thinking, well, there's a red circle where they say they're drilling. See where it says C4.5, Judy?
Yes. Yeah, I don't get that either.
So if they're drilling C4.5 and they got a red circle there, that's where I would say the drill hole is. I was a surveyor.
It makes perfect sense.
Right. But all the other white circles, is that the drill traveling all the way to the up? I know the squares were 10-foot squares. Yeah. Yeah, Chris. Steve did say the squares are, every square there, Judy, is 10 foot. See the big squares behind? You see the squares behind the squiggly lines?
Yes, yes.
So I wanted to try to give my members, hi, Gwen from Australia. Thanks for coming in. I just want to give my members a detail of, yeah, you're showing us these maps. Sure, you're pointing your finger over here. Yeah, the old money pit, it's over here west. But give us in detail what the heck is going on, Yep, Linda. Yep, Chris. So that's what I wanted to point out, but I didn't have no answers for you guys. I'm showing you pictures, but I don't have any answers for you. Well, we'll get
maybe somebody in our group will.
Yeah, we'll get them. We'll get them. Yep, I remember that, Chris. The square was 10 foot, 10 foot. Yep. I just want to remind people on Facebook and YouTube, I did make a $2.99 per month Templar Soldier on my YouTube paid membership channel. Please check it out. It's about 75 cents a week, and that would help out tremendously. Thank you. For the new people coming in. And this is the wood that they came up with on that, what was it, 75 feet or 85 feet that they pulled up. They just said it's definitely a top of a tunnel. When they threw this on the table, and I call it the table on the money pit side, they got that big table. You know where I'm talking, Judy?
Yes. Yep.
Yep, Buster. They go to Pacific Depth too. Yep. Yep. Anthony, they did so much searching in the swamp with the radar, sonar, blasting caps. Holy crap. They got overload over there. They got overload on the swamp. And this is where he said, this is the top of a tunnel. Let me see if I got the next picture. Yeah, they got a baseline. They don't tell us, yeah. And they're showing, I just wanted to show where C1 was there. That's the only canister that we see that they kept intact. All the rest of the caissons that they did are all backfilled. So all those digs by Vanessa when she was on live. I hope you guys go to YouTube and see my interview with Vanessa. It was a great interview. That there's only C1 that they kept. Because there's a void in C1, about a 20-foot void in C1. You know that, Judy, right?
Yes. I can't wait till they find out what it is.
And here's that separation on the table. It came out a little blurry. Yep, season 6, Linda. Yep. A lot of radar, a lot of overabundance of information. But yet it didn't show the stone pathways. I scratched my head again. Maybe it don't show stones. And there's a nice picture of the island. And here's the little stone pathway, which I believe is a foundation or a dam. That's my own personal opinion. And the water coming out like on top of the swamp there that you see that creek. You see that little creek coming down the middle of the swamp, Judy?
Yes, I do.
Hi, Rocco. How are you? That is a spring-fed swamp. That's a spring there. That's why that's always showing water there. And that's why nothing grows in the eye of the swamp, because it's an underground spring that comes up.
Oh, okay. Did not know that.
Hi, Kathy. How are you? Thanks for coming in. So that's a spring-fed swamp there. And obviously it was a real dry summer on top of it, so. Okay, guys, here we go again. Would you walk on this? Look at that, what they're calling a stone road. It's driving me crazy. Even if it was filled of blue clay in between. Hi, Annette. How are you? And then people are saying, could each of these side paved ways, I'm going to put this out there, the small paved area that they're calling, thank you, Dwayne. Thank you very much. And the bigger paved area up on top, could these be all stones from ballast? If it was a deep harbor, which I don't know because the water level was down 5-6 feet, could a ship come in here and threw all their ballast to the small paved area, or went farther in the swamp? If it was dug out, I have no idea, and threw their ballast off to the top.
But would they lay them out like that though? Wouldn't they just be in a pile?
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like they find them underwater. It's like just a big pile of stones that they threw overboard when their load got light or heavy. It wouldn't be flat. It wouldn't be like a road type of way. It'd be just like a hill of stones, you know?
Right.
And I think these stones are too small, like Chris says. So I'm still going with my gut feeling that these things are a foundation for a wooden platform that went on top as a wooden wharf. That's what I'm going by. No Roman roads, no tunnels underneath here. Like on top here is a top of a tunnel. No. I'm going with my gut instinct that these were foundations in a swampy area. That's why they put the Caribbean underneath and built a deck on top to deliver or set out any kind of delivery on their ships or their little skittles to the big ship to load and unload what? You ask me? I have no idea. Blue clay, the pie tar clay, did they have tar? I have no idea. You think if they were doing tar and stuff, maybe one barrel broke or stuff and it'd be all tarry in one spot. What do you think? Every barrel never had a leak. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, right. Oh, John, I don't know what it is. It just keeps confusing me.
Right. And, you know, I understand when the high tide comes in, but then the ship comes in a high tide. The tide goes out and they fix it. They repair it, whatever it does. They didn't have no cranes to lift these ships up. They didn't have any kind of mechanical things to fix these ships up or tar the bottoms or tar the insides. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, exactly.
Linda, has the property of Fred and Tom Nolan been checked in the area where the swamp was filled in? You mean this little peninsula? There was supposed to be a shaft at the end of that little island that he made when he pushed it in there. Let me see here. See the little island there with the two trees at the end? You'll see it that it looks yellow on top. You see where I'm talking, Judy?
Yes, I do, John.
Then you see two trees, and then boom, you see the water. Well, that's what Fred Nolan made that you'll see in swamp pictures. And I'm pretty sure at the end there was a shaft, because I remember seeing some pictures before when they were standing on this little island into the swamp, or like Fred Nolan's roadway there, that there was wood at the end.
I think you're right.
Near their house. Was the prior on there the swamp was filled in? Could be. And Anthony agrees with me. I thought he found both parts in the swamp itself. Yeah. No problem, Michelle. Michelle's in the house. Take your time. Don't worry about it.
Hi, Michelle.
We got to hope Tammy's feeling better. No rush for her to come on. So. No rush at all here. No rush. We're very relaxed there. So this is where I want to show you there. That was Fred Nolan's outlet to the swamp. And then there was a shaft at that area. Let me see if I can get, let me see here. Okay. Get my head out of here. And there they are peeling back the pathway. Because if I do it like this here, my face covers the tractor and everything. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes.
Alrighty. And there's Dr. Aaron Taylor. We'll give him a shout out. He's doing a lot of hard work there in the swamp. So was Laird in the Ball Foundation. But I wanted to give Aaron Taylor a shout out. I never really did, and I want to give him a shout out. I want to give Miriam Also a shout out, all the work they're doing there. Michael, could the square-shaped hole going along the stone road be a crane footprint? No, I think that square place in the pathway was an archaeological dig there, just to check out the pathway. They always do rectangles, you know what I mean, Judy?
Yes.
So I think Aaron and Miriam did a square there. That's the only reason why I can think a perfectly square triangle is in the middle of their pathway, and I think that's a pretty good guess. What do you think, Judy?
Yeah, and they're still doing some too.
Yeah. And here's the guys passing around that ring bolt. That was a big find. And there it is. And then Carmen said it was in a wooden wharf. Remember that. Wooden wharf.
Yes.
Not stone. Wooden. And he said the year was 1640 and prior. But again, Judy, I mean, he knows when things are made. I mean, he's unbelievable, Carmen. He's just unbelievable.
He is. He is.
But I want to see now the date of the coal. I want to see now the date, as you know, I've said this about 100 times, the date of the cribbing under the stones, under their so-called pathway. Get the ring bolt date, 1640, get the coal date, and get the cribbing date of the wood. And then we can surmise from there. What do you think?
Well, I think we might get the cribbing this year, but I don't think we're going to get the coal.
Right. Well, maybe get the wood. Yeah, you're right. They were pretty quick on the wood.
Yes, they usually are.
And of course, we get the dates on the keg barrels, either wood-wise or chemically-wise. I wish chemically-wise they can tell us what the heck was inside them,
Yes, that's going to be interesting.
And there's those dates. We got to mark those dates down, Judy. What do we got? What am I saying now? Yeah, Buster. He goes to the island. The keg date, the coal date, the cribbing date. Got to give us a bit not pinpoint, but give us that area of whatever date it is, and then boom. Who was around at that date, if whatever it is, 1450, 1550, whatever. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, exactly. Templars.
Yep. If that wood lasted from the year 1100, I says, oh my God. Yep, Anthony, they use the eye boats to help pull small boats in to unload them. Yeah, I mean, big boats couldn't get in there. Like I'm saying, only way big boats can get in there is the tide. But still, with the tide, I still say it's too shallow. Otherwise, this thing would have been dug out 30 feet deep, the swamp. No? There was no road in the front.
Exactly.
So they had to have a big ship offshore, Judy. In scuttle in, in scuttle in, I only can think not a boat to scuttle in, like a homemade barge, like a big flat barge that they put all their stuff on. They're not going to put things in little scuttles, little not canoes, but little scuttles. They'll take them forever to unload whatever they're unloading.
Right.
Yep, Buster. So those are the dates. Once we get those dates, oh my God, the story gets tighter. Then of course, you know what happens. We'll just have more questions. But we got the stuff, Judy. We got the stuff to be dated. If they can't get the chemical analysis of the kegs, they can get the wood dated.
Exactly. Yep.
And here's Steve. Don't forget now, we got to mark this down also. Yep, any ship would have bottomed out, Anthony. You're correct. Yep, Starling. Now, don't forget this, too. This is very important as a surveyor. They call it a cobblestone road. a paved area. I call it a foundation. They could be right. I could be right. They could be wrong. I don't know. But don't forget, when Steve does elevations, that's a telltale sign also. So remember this out there. The elevation of the small paved area is 1.6 feet above sea level. Now, don't forget, they dug out, 4 or 5 feet of muck, I guess, right?
Right.
But don't forget, when they're peeling back all this mud and yuck from the swamp, when he puts his thunderstick on the stone cobble, it's consistent with the stone cobble foundation, whatever you want to call it, in the lower southeast corner of 1.5 feet above sea level. Think about that. I'll let you guys think about that. You guys follow me so far? As I'm a surveyor. I thought that was really important that everybody missed. But me being a surveyor, now peel away. You guys with me so far?
Yes.
Peel away the front road in front of the swamp. Okay? Peel away all the muck, all the crud, and we're just down to the paved area. And he says it's 1.5 feet above sea level. Where was sea level decades ago? 5 or 6 feet less.
Wow.
Now think of this. Think of these numbers now, Judy, and the members. I want you to think about this. Right now, 2020, he said it was 1.5 feet above sea level. This is in 2021. Sea level has risen 5 to 6 feet. That tells me how high were these cobbles. Scott, Linda, Michelle. That stone paveway or foundation was 7.5 feet high centuries ago. Now, you guys follow me what I'm saying here?
Yes.
So if you got a ship and you can see these pathways are 8 foot higher. Because why? Because of the sea level was lower. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now, do you have, okay, guys, I'm giving you questions. So do you have any idea why you would have stone pathways or anything like that 7.5 feet high? You know why? I got an answer for you.
Good.
So when the tide comes in, you can scuttle your ship on a foundation wharf of wood to unload your business or load your business. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me on that theory. Johnny's brain went crazy on this one. I couldn't wait to tell you guys.
Tom says that's why small eye bolt to more smaller vessels. Tom Burns.
Yup and up. And that, now, yeah, but Annette, suppose the tide comes in. That road will be too low. When the tide comes in, the water's coming in. Of course, they had ramps or whatever they had to do to unload. I have no idea. You see what I'm saying here? So centuries ago, these things were almost 7.5 feet high without the tide coming in. they would be much higher, obviously, if you put a wood platform on here. But if you have a stone paved way that they say it's a paved way, when the tide came in or the tide went out, it would be 8 foot high. Who's going to be walking up there? The island wasn't 8 foot high. You know, you got erosion and everything, guys, but holy crap. Now think about the island. Did the island go up 8 feet with the stone paveway? The paveway was 8 foot high centuries ago. The island would erode lower. Erosion means, I don't know what it means, but erosion means deplete of materials. It goes lower. Your island don't go higher, not unless you hit a volcano or something, and it builds more. If you had dump trucks filling the land, you know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, John, I'm with you.
So if the island didn't get built up, and only these road paveways, or whatever you want to call them, are 7.5 feet high, think about that. And that says a seawall. A seawall. A seawall would be, if they wanted a seawall in that, it would be where the road is now. A big wall in front of the swamp. You know how the sea crashes into the rocks. You know what I'm talking about? Tom Bird's a slipway and a crib wharf. Yup, Scott. They had to come in at high tide. If this thing was 8 foot high, 8 foot high, where am I going, Judy? Where am I? 7 foot high. When the tide came in, that's when they came in. Yep, the seawall will be underwater by now. And you know they got a 90-foot wharf that goes past the swamp. That's what Tony was metal detecting out there. Because why is there a 90-foot wharf past the swamp, Judy?
Yes, exactly.
Why is there a swamp? A swamp, oh my God. Why is a wharf, a 90-foot wharf, underwater in front of the swamp? Tell me.
John, we wish we had the answer.
It's because of the water depths. The dock was out there because there was no water.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
If you have no water, how do you ship things? You can't drive a boat on bare land. So when the water level was receding at that time, you go towards the water. You got to make the dock longer. You make your dock to the water. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So that's why that wharf of 90 foot is underwater, where they're researching now, where they got metal detecting hits around that area. But my main concern was, we know the sea levels have risen. Pam says maybe to stop erosion. The way they're set up, it's just weird. It's just, wouldn't you have rocks all the way around your wetland so it would stop erosion? Why have a 70-foot spot of rocks here? And what's the one on top? 50 foot. I mean, that makes no sense. Yes, Scott, I think it was built, like I'm saying again. What do I say, Judy? I say there was wood on top of these stones. Eye bolts were in the wood to tie off boats, or use a pulley system to pull things along. And I wish I can get answers.
I think it was Billy talked about there might have been a pulley system there on that pathway.
You know what I'm saying? With the wood, with the pulley system, what ox pulling it in, whatever they're pulling in or loading up, we have no idea. But that's my whole thing. What do you think of that idea, Judy?
Well, I think you've certainly given me something to think about.
Hi, Scott Dilly on the YouTube side. How are you this evening? And don't forget, you guys on the YouTube side, I got a $2.99 Templar Soldier membership. That's only 75 cents a week. Help support me and my channel. Take a look at it. Hit the join button. Take a look what I offer. Also, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it. Sorry to hear that, Scott. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, Linda, they found some kind of triangle stone when they were diving off the boats in season 2. But then now Laird tells me, I mean, they can get a underwater archaeological permit. Did I say that right? From the province. Mama me, try to say that, Judy.
Yeah, don't do that to me. Archaeological.
Yeah, archaeological province. They can get a permit from the province to do that dig underwater. So that's a good thing. You know, like 2 weeks, they can get a permit from the province to do it underwater. So there's a lot of things they got to show us yet. But when they show that triangle, Linda, and everything like that, they couldn't touch it. They couldn't do anything with it. Just show us a picture. There's a bunch of rocks. Looks like a triangle. They couldn't touch the kale or anything. Okay, Scott. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in.
Good night, Scott.
Yeah, Robin, the swamp was open ocean. I think it was deeper, although someone said more like 50 feet. I don't know. I have no idea the depth-wise. I mean, how do they know the depth? I have no idea. Dr. Spooner, we need answers. Yep, Tom Burns, I love you, man. Depends on what type of size of vessel is being used. Bay of Fundy has the highest tides in the world. Imagine that, Judy. 25 feet comes in and out, and slipways and eye boats are still used today to land boats. 25 feet. Oh my God. Thank you, Tom. You're the best. Right on the ball. They really didn't find any bones in 10X. They found some bones in H8. And here we got Scott Barlow and Terry Matheson on the table. I just want to show you guys how close they are to C1. Hi, Don. How are you, my man? Thanks for coming in.
Don.
Thanks for coming in. Now, you guys see this picture?
Yes.
You see that caisson right there of 10X. Oh, my God. My brain, Judy. You see this? It's the only caisson that's left in the money pit. That's C1. Look how close they are to C1.
Right. Wow.
Now, here's my question. Mike Huntley said he'll come on the show. I just got to get a hold of him. He dove C1. You remember Mike Huntley?
Yes.
When they went down C1, which I'll have pictures coming up, there's a cavern. Okay? A 20-foot cavern. Why is not this drill finding that cavern being this close to C1?
Jeez, John, I had not thought about that, but you're right. Could it be that they've hit that and that's what they think is tunnels?
Bingo. Question answered. But I am thinking of these things, and even when I talk to Steve live and Dr. Spooner, they got the maps. They see the maps. They see these drilling holes. They see all this. They see what we see, and I see only what they show us. If you're this close to C1, does the void just go the other way? Or, I mean, if you're this close, you should be in the opening where Mike Huntley was walking around in the bottom looking for things, no?
Right.
Right, Tom. I don't know the depth, how far they went to hit that tunnel. So something like 88 feet. So they're not even close to 170. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, exactly.
Let me get my face out of here. I'm blocking a couple of things there. There's where C1 is. And to the lower right half, all the rest of the digs are way over there. You see it, guys?
Yes.
87 feet. You're right, Tom. Because, Don, they hit a tunnel at 87 feet. And they don't know where that tunnel came from. It's not posted. It's not in detailed maps. And that's their concern. Because C1, I'm pretty sure, was 170. Then the void went down. And this is what they... And this is what they found in C1, them 3 gold objects in the walls. We always come back to C1. Why, Judy? Because they're always showing gold. You know what I mean?
Right. At the very first season, did they not go? They dove down there, and the diver found a gold piece that fell, right?
Right. This year, the beginning of this season.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll go back to that before this season's over.
Well, who knows? Maybe they'll just put the vacuum pump in there like they did 10X and vacuum it up again. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But this year, like I said, we'll give them a break. But I'm getting so much information on the daily that it's really blowing my mind how much we're getting for information this year in the COVID year. Now there's C1, and now there's C5. Boom. See it, guys?
Yes. You're right, John.
And Michelle says it's around the 90-foot depth. That is right depth of the original story, right? And C1's like 170. But what they're hitting, Michelle, is a tunnel they didn't know about. And that's why I guess they're staying around that area. That's what I get from it. I'm not positive, but they're saying, why is there a tunnel there? And that's when they got that wood dated that Judy was saying. And there's C4.5. Yep, Don, the information has been great for a COVID year. I didn't inspect this much. In fact, I didn't even inspect a season 8 at all. You know what I mean, Judy? We're glad we have these shows.
Yeah, for sure. They're not showing as many repeats on the show itself. The other years, it's always been come back from a commercial and they would show a piece from last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever. They're not doing that this year.
Right. And Tom says they're just seeking to link the money pit. Not really sure they want to hit the bottom right now. Right. They're seeking a link to the money pit. Right. So here's the next picture where it shows it's 88 foot. There's the wood. Then you see the dirt, Judy. Then you see it stops right there and then boom, it hits wood like the top of the tunnel that Terry said.
Yes.
And that's C4.5. But then on the 90-foot tunnel, they also said, 40 foot below 2 million pounds are buried. So, a 90-foot tunnel, they're saying it should be like at 130, the money pit. The old timers, you know what I'm talking about, Judy?
Yes.
The 90-foot part.
And they did talk about going down to 130
right.
for this last hole.
Right. And the 90-foot mark, that only thing comes in my mind is the 90-foot stone. That's the only thing that rings a bell in my head at 90 feet. You say 90 feet, my brain says 90-foot stone. That's about it.
Right.
There's a better picture of it. And they're so close to C1, but they're not as deep as C1. So that's what I'm saying, that I correct myself about not being in the void because they haven't gone deep enough yet. But if they go deep enough, I'm pretty sure they'll be into that void. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes. Hopefully this week.
Yeah, and they're real close. So, and they said that void was 20 feet by something. I forgot the dimensions down there, but it's a lot wider than the canister that it's showing us on top, Then, of course, Johnny's brain was looking at this. I was trying to get a close-up shot of the map behind Mr. Tester's head. That's how my brain works, Judy.
Okay.
Oh, yes, Darlene, the 90-foot stone, the inscriptions on the 90-foot stone in the original money pit. The 90-foot stone. So that sort of map looked like Fred Nolan's treasure map, but I don't know where that map came from. So if you guys can zoom in on that map and tell me where it's coming from, I'd be appreciated. But that's how my brain works. Tom Burns, my theory, if they drill deep and pull up something really significant, the whole project comes to a halt until they work out who takes control. Correct? Correct. Yep, that's what Vanessa said. If they pull up something, boom, everything stops, and that's where they're going to put the bullseye on, Judy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's where that's the whole thing, Tom. That is the whole idea right there. You got it in a nutshell. And it all started with this. That shiny gold thing with a sewer cam way back in the season in C1. And then when Mike Huntley went down there, we came up with nothing but mud.
Right.
I forgot, Robin, about, they had another translation of the stone, but nobody knows the exact writing, that they fill the flood tunnels up with corn. There's a couple of gold degrees instead of straight down. I don't know. I'm not sure about this 90-foot stone. I think that was just a investment tool to get investors to fund treasure digs. Again, this is my personal opinion. It's not factual. It's my own opinion. And the shiny gold thing. Yeah, David, they found the stone in 1909 that a guy was doing research on and did find it in the bookstore. And it is the stone. It had the regular 2 letters on it. It was 200 pounds, 2 foot by 1 foot thick that Doug found. That is the stone that was in the bookstore in Halifax. It wasn't the inscription stone that was in somebody's fireplace here and there. Yep, the coin. They dropped the coin. Yep, and that's the shiny gold thing that gave us in C1.
Michelle just mentions about the article you read from the 30s that never mentions a thing about the 90-foot stone.
Nope.
We did talk about that.
We talked about that, Michelle, and it's like, well, how come they never mentioned the 90-foot stone ever? It was just unbelievable. Right. And then you hear people, well, the 90-foot stone, when they found it, was face down. That's another theory, that they came out of the money pit. They didn't drill down in the money pit. They came out of the money pit, like if it was a cave vent or a sinkhole that opened up, they came out of the money pit. So the stone was face down. But if the stone went face down and you read it, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds is buried. That means 40 foot down from that point. You know what I'm saying, Judy?
Right.
Could be, Anthony. It could have been pirate. Yeah, it could be. But I'm saying, if the 90-foot stone, as they said, was face down from coming up, so if you read the 90-foot stone coming up, it would say 40 foot below. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yep. It's unbelievable. So I don't give a lot of clearance to the 90-foot stone, Judy. It's another one of my quirky things. I think it was just an investment tool for them to generate money to actually look for the treasure all over the island in the money pit.
Yeah, they certainly never proved to us that it was there.
How they can't? I mean, I talked to Joan McGinnis and everybody. Well, it was in my fireplace. And then the other person, they said, well, it was in their fireplace, Vaughn's fireplace. I don't know. Either somebody's got it in their private collection and laughing at us, or it was just a story. You know what I mean? Yep, 130 feet off the surface. Yep, David. They filled in the money pit. Yep, layered it up every 10 foot. Okay, here's the strap that they sent to the history guy there. The strap they found with the 6 holes in it. Not sure, Michael, if the diver of the gold shiny thing's a Mason. I have no idea. This wasn't Mike. This was another diver. Mike was busy and couldn't do the dive itself. He did the camera, if you remember in the beginning of season 8, Judy. He did the camera.
Yes, I remember that.
You know, showing them little gold pieces in the wall that I showed you earlier. And then he got tied up. He couldn't do the dive itself. Somebody else did the dive. I'm not sure who did it, but the guy dropped whatever gold piece or pyrite or whatever he had in his hand. He dropped it. And that was that. And he couldn't go any deeper.
Leave us hanging.
So I said, well, and this is the strap they sent to the guy. Joe Landry. They showed him a lot of leather. Remember that, Judy? That leather that was red.
Yes.
Some book binding that they found in H8. And so on and so forth. And like you said in your synopsis, I guess they can date the tanning of the leather to a period. Yeah, Tom, I'm telling you, that stone that Doug found in the cellar with the 2 letters LV is that stone.
I agree. I think it is the stone.
It's not the stone from the fireplace, Tom. It's a stone with LV on it that they said was the 90-foot stone. Didn't have all the inscriptions on it. It wasn't worn down from hitting leather on top of the stone. What Doug found was the stone they portrayed in the bookstore. The guy in 1919. Yep. I believe that. I believe that's the stone. They got me, Judy, they got me convinced that stone is the stone that they saw in the window. Not the one with all the graphic and the X's and the triangles and the dots and the slashes. No, not that stone. That stone, I think, was made up for investment purposes. My own personal opinion. Now, don't take my word for it. It's just my own Johnny Brain thing. So they sent it out to Joe, and there's this building there in Halifax, I guess. Then Gary finds a button. We got a button in there, Judy.
Yes, another button.
Yep. Scott Dilly, what about the stone found in the old museum just across from the island? Those stones had initials on them, yeah, but nothing as the 90-foot stone. They had like initials in there, Scott. And Scott says it could be a book binding. Yep, correct. And David, a book strap from a log book. Yep. And also a ledger strap linked to the Captain Anderson who purchased land on Oak Island. Could be. Or it could be just a regular boot strap. Who the heck knows? Of course, they give us more questions.
Well, Joe has certainly been around because he's worked with antique leather in Europe. So, he knows his stuff.
Yep. He's like the Carmen of artifacts. You know what I mean?
You're right. You got it. Leather ones.
He did that stuff in Europe he did, you know how like some of these painters do the chapels in Italy and repaint them, not repaint them. I don't know what they do. They take all the tarnish off and they remanufacture the pictures on the chapels and everything. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes.
He did that to old books. You know what I mean?
Wow.
The binders and the pages. So he knows what he's talking about.
He does.
All right, you guys, I'm going to post this picture up. I'm going to put the phone number up. Anybody wants to call in and talk to me and mumble to me, Judy will get off if we get a call. If we don't get a call, she'll be with me. Let me get that up first.
Remember, guys, you got to let us know by a chat that you want to call in.
Right, Judy. And Michelle, when Marty dropped the coin, how far recovered? I think it was 10 foot in H8. Because we got a solution channel under the money pit at 170 feet. Yep, Jamie, I had a picture. They were digging in the eye of the swamp. Billy's tractor was in the eye of the swamp. I got a picture somewhere. If I didn't delete it, I'll show it in a little while. And Tom Burns straps were used to many things. Yeah, boxes, chests, all kinds of things. Okay, what was I doing? Okay, I got the phone number up. Let us know in chat if you want to chime in. Judy has to get off. I only can take one phone call at a time. Please check my Facebook out. Please check my paid membership out. Please give me a subscribe, join button, please. Tomorrow will be our big push to get subscribers. Here we go, guys. You ready for this one? This will be my last picture. Okay. I see a crown. I see like a rose petals or something going on top of the crown. This was found on Sam Ball's lot. They said it was maybe a top of a cane. But also in the promo, if you go to my Quest group page, they went to Luxembourg and said, the girl said, we have things like this in our museum.
Okay.
Think about that, members. Hi, Karen. How are you? From a walking stick, a cane. I don't know, but that's what they said. Yep. And Michael says, what about if the strap was on the ledger that contained the parchment containing the letters V? Yep. Could be. But the strap is about 400 feet away from the money pit where they found it in H8. You know what I mean? Not unless a tunnel comes up at the swamp and that solution channel's moving everything around. I have no idea. It could be a seal, Michelle says. Yeah, Pam, I need photos. My brain is shot. Judy can tell you. Well, we need.
Chris Donut says it could be Rosicrucian symbolism, maybe, on the cane.
Chris, what do you think? Is like just a stamp? Does things like this go on a cane? I was searching, like, I mean, how do you search? Old cane tops. I mean, 1750 cane covers. I mean, I didn't know where the heck to go, Chris, with this. You know what I mean? Just to search it myself. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, exactly.
Because obviously this is not ground down, so it wasn't on the bottom of the cane. It wasn't on the top of the cane. It's not anything to do with a gun or a pistol. This is a decorative piece, especially when that lady at the Luxembourg Museum says she has seen things and has things like this in the museum. Again, I tie it with the military. Hi, Jenny. Thanks for coming in. Jenny thinks it's on the top of a whiskey bottle. It's a Crown bottle from Dave.
Good one.
I like that one. Okay, I never thought of that. The Crown has 5 points. I got to look on my Crown Royale bottle. If David was drinking on the picnic table near the swamp and finished the bottle of Crown and threw the bottle in the swamp. what do you think of that, Judy?
He was just fed up.
Oh, my God. No, I have a lot of Crown bottle tops, and they're real big, Bob. But that's just a joke. But I don't know, Tom Burns. I did several searches, and the Crown would be on top of the Rose, not on the bottom. Don, the Rose is on top of this Crown. What metal was the cane top? I have no idea. This is, guys, this was on a promo, and this is what I like to focus on. Something like this is significant. Something like this here perks my ears up. You know, we're not talking about boulders. We're not talking about rocks. We're not talking about muck. And we're not talking about coal. We're talking about something here that's established. You know what I mean? They are, Buster. They're excavating the whole cellar, all the lots, and Gary's got all his pink flags up with all the hits. Laird's got all his red flags. You know what all the red flags are, right, Judy?
Yes.
The red flags are his grid.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay.
And Tom says custom made for a particular chapter in the military. This guy, Sam Ball, was in with the military here. This is military. You know how they make special badges for the military and medals, Judy?
Yes.
And Don Brett says, correct. When I search Rose and Crown, the Crown's always on top. But awful strange that the Crown, you know, Judy, when you got a Crown, that comes top and you have everything on the bottom. But what about if we turn the picture around? Don, did you turn the picture around that the Crown, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thorns are facing down?
Right.
And then the Rose would be underneath. Is the Rose leaves upside down? I don't know. I switched it every which way and I get sort of blanked out, you know, going back and forth, upside down, right to left. Yes, Buster, he does. He did fight for the British, correct. And Michelle, the style of crown would possibly be a clue to the period it's from, correct. Another clue, including maker's marks. Right, a maker's mark, a stamp. So do you guys sort of agree with the promo that they said this might be the top? Then everybody was asking me, well, how do you know he had a cane? I don't know. That's what they said. That's what they said in the promo.
Maybe we'll find out more this week from that.
Yes, Jenny. Yes, like when you put on your decorative uniform for a special invitation to a special military award ceremony, you wear your best military buttons, your best military hat with all the trimmings, right, Judy? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. All your medals.
Tom Burns, the patina looks same as the shiny gold thing. The cup is hanging on for months. Yeah, but Michael, could the pattern above the crown, the leaf pattern. Now, if you turn that thing around, that the crown's on top, is there anything showing something that the crown has the 5 points below its strap? You know what I mean?
Yes, I see what you're saying.
I turned it all the way around, upside down, but I went into the search. I couldn't come up with anything. It just, you know, I turned it upside down and left to the right and inverted it. And the only thing I looked at it is the way he's holding it, the way he's looking at it, through the camera. This is how they're portraying it. You know what I mean, Judy? Otherwise, they would have it turned around. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
If they're portraying this like this position, this is the correct position for it to be seen.
Right. The other way, the crown would be upside down.
Right. And Linda Schaaf says a family crest. Well, they can ask the people in his family line and go through his family line if that's a crest that's been brought down through the family. You know what I mean, Linda?
Yes.
Yes, Pam, we're all assuming it's a cane. This is what they tell us. And we're like little robots. So whatever they say, it could be a cane. Then we go off to our own village. It could be a cane. It could be an insignia. It could be a button. It could be something on a uniform. You know what I mean? I just say what they say, Judy, and we go from there. Yep, Tom, I searched in Anderson also. Yep, I couldn't find anything. So this is a scratch my head job. And I thought this is making me a little excited. Because if this don't tie anything in with everything else we're getting, like I told you, everything else that we're getting on dates, and that lady said she has things like this in the museum. What's that tell you, Judy?
I'm wondering if it is military.
Yep. And if they got things like this here in the museum, obviously they didn't tell us right off the bat. Okay, bring this to the museum. Hey, lady, what do you got that matches this? Well, here's this, or here's that, or it looks like this, or it looks like that. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, exactly.
And it came off a commander's uniform. It came off a special thing that they had. It came off a decorative sword on the handle. They would let us know somewhat in the museum that she said, we have things that look like this here. And that's going to be our match right there.
Michelle says, what's the perfect looking circle near the top?
Yep. And then
I barely see it.
Yeah. And she said also it could be a seal. Yeah. They put the blob of wax on it, like red wax on it, and they seal whatever their documents or top secret stuff or whatever they're doing.
Right.
And they put it in red wax, and they put it on a lock. They put it on everything, We'll find out. But that's why I brought this picture up. That's why I made a little promo on YouTube showing this. I wanted to show everybody, even though everybody sees it. Yep, British military. Could this be a one-of-a-kind seal? This is what we got to find out. You know what I mean? This is what we have to find out. But didn't this get you guys going again? We like to see that gold stuff. So all of a sudden, we already got shot down about that gold knob. I'm not going to go into that because I start crying. Gold knob for a jewelry box. So I'm starting to tear up already.
That did upset you, didn't it?
Yep. And this thing, another gold looking thing. But it did get me up because this is not a knob. This is a seal. This is a decorative piece. This is something substantial. Jamie, I've been saying the eyes, the opening to the tunnels. I've posted that on their page, and they never approved my post. Whose page? Some things on my page, if it's a repetitive post that we've seen over and over and over, I will not approve it. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes. Yeah.
The seal will identify the officer in charge or an individual. Yes. So I love this gold piece because we're seeing it. We're trying to defer it and match it with something at the Luxembourg fort there. And I always said they started building that or doing that in 1720. Remember I was saying that Tuesday, Judy?
Yes. Yep.
And those were a lot of people that were there. I mean, the place wasn't even settled until 1749. So where'd all these people come from to do all this stuff?
Right.
And Cindy says the leather from the boot was a higher grade. Yep. Yep. All right. So we're going to end it up a little bit here, about 5 minutes. If nobody calls, we're going to call it. But I want to leave you with this, and we'll see you pre-show Tuesday, whatever they're going to show us. And let me just show you this thing full shot. Hold on, Judy. Alrighty. So that was the big thing there. That gold little seal or something, Judy. That was my big thing for the whole week. You know what I mean?
Right.
Alrighty. I'm going to take the phone number off. Roses have 5 petals. Thanks for your input, Tom Burns. You're the best out there. I'm going to take the phone off. You also want to try to get the trivia game day going. Me and Michelle are working on it. A little bit too long tonight. I've been on for about an hour and a half. But I want you guys to know if you want to do a special night that everybody's around, Sunday night, but you guys in Canada watch the Oak Island show, that we can do the trivia questions and answers and get points and win a new membership mug with your points and just have fun. So we're going to put up some kind of poll or some kind of questionnaire in my Facebook group, Quest of Oak Island. If we want to make, like, say, a Thursday night, at what time, we'll decide member-wise. Just a trivia night of questions about the whole world, and you get points, and you can win a free Quest of Oak Island membership mug. We're putting that together. Tuesday nights go by so fast, and I really don't want to be on every night on live, so we're going to leave it up to the members, and then me and Michelle's in charge of trivia night, and we'll see what's good for you guys if it's during a weekday. I mean, Saturdays we do our synopsis, and I guess most people would rather have it on a Saturday or a Friday night. I have no idea. That's what we're going to look for. I'm not sure, Hart, if they're going to use Zena's map. We're going to have Erwin on shortly when she gets the okay. And let me know. And Judy, you want to say your goodbyes? Because I'm going to say my goodbyes and end up with my spiel at the end here.
Okay. Good night, everybody, and thank you for all your encouragement, and have a good week, and I will see you on Tuesday night and then Saturday night. Bye.
Thank you so much, Judy.
You're welcome, John.
All right, I want to thank Judy for a great synopsis. Don't forget, guys, check out my Facebook channel. take a look around, see what I offer. Also, I want to thank you all that support me. It's fantastic. We'll get trivia night going. I have merchandise coming, hats, wool hats, shirts, t-shirts. On my paid channel, certain levels will get 30% off. Certain levels will get 50% off. There will be given away some free giveaways of polos, t-shirts, mugs, caps. I don't know if you want to see my face on there, but it can support me. And I appreciate your support for me and my channel. I want to thank Tammy. Hope she gets better from her second COVID shot. I want to thank Michelle, Renee, Judy, and Tammy for all their hard work. No problem, Curtis. You can catch the replay. It's always on. I hope you had fun tonight. I hope I made your night for this hour and a half. Got your mind at ease. And don't forget, join my Facebook Quest of Oak Island group. We got 72,000, a little shy, less than 72,000 members on that group. Facebook, we're still hurting with only 1,330 subscribers for some reason. I wish we had more. It's free to subscribe, and that's where you can see my join button. That's only for special people that want to support me. You can be a soldier, a captain, a grand marshal. There's all perks that are related to those levels. And don't forget, always go forward. You may get a setback, but always go forward. Believe in your dreams, no matter how old you are. Go for it. Let nothing hold you back. Be safe and be mentally tough if you can. If you can't, please seek help. There's a lot of help out there for individuals. That's why it's out there. Please do that. You'll be a better person for that. Stay positive. Stay safe. We'll see you Tuesday pre-show at 7 o'clock. I thank everybody that came in. I thank you so much. We'll be seeing you in chat. I'll be posting Judy's synopsis very shortly. And I thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. Bye-bye.